Well, good evening. Another Wednesday is here. Welcome to Strong and Sassy All Women Talk Show. Today we're talking about something almost every Ghanaian woman has experienced at least once in their lifetime, yeah? You get the job, the promotion, the house, the car, and somehow someone still finds a way to ask you, so when are we coming to see your husband? Today we want to know, why is it that no matter how far a woman climbs, there's always this one box that, if left unticked, makes people act like she hasn't really arrived? It's a big conversation and we're packing it all today. And I think that, I don't know whether all of our questions or most of our questions will be directed to our parents, okay? Because I want to understand, especially our moms, our aunties, like our female cousins. Like, what is it? Let's understand. What's the problem? Like, what's the concern? And how are you talking to us about it? Like, is it doom and gloom? All doom and gloom? That we're not partnered up? Is that what we're doing now? We want to genuinely understand what it means, though. So send us a WhatsApp. It's a very interactive show today, and we'd love for you to share your thoughts with us. Unfortunately, we can't activate the phone lines, but our WhatsApp is active. You can also share your comments on our socials as well. We're live on X. We're live on YouTube. And Oliver Fanyo and Anna Quick who are making that visible. Show is produced by Marital Johnson. My name is aKorfa. And we're keeping you company till 8 p.m. And as usual, I've got these amazing ladies joining me in studio. Ama is creative director at Push Studios. I've got Eyram in studio as well, who's a serial entrepreneur. Ladies, good evening. How are we doing today?
Good evening, aKorfa.
I don't think I can hear you quite well. Are we good? Let's try it again. Hello?
Good evening, aKorfa. Hi, aKorfa.
Can you guys hear them? Okay, I think we can hear you. All right, cool. How are we feeling? It's been a while we met.
Yes, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
We missed you. We know you
But
missed
you
us.
see, Joy, it's about time you guys take us out to brunch. Like,
You see,
together. Group. Yeah, sorry, producer. Sorry, I should have told you this off air.
Off
but I'm putting you on the spot. Like, you owe us a
Putting us
brunch.
on blast, man.
Yeah.
I get that. But I think so. She does have a point. Yeah, we will do that. We have to, like a strong and sassy ladies brunch.
yeah,
Yeah. I get it.
That would be fun.
Yeah, very fun. But if you're joining us, this is Strong and Sassy, and we're talking about women and our achievements. At the end of the day, sometimes when you get to a certain level, people will always want to trivialize your success because they believe that you're not married or you're not partnered up, and so it doesn't really matter. We have a listener story, and we're going to read that. That's our premise for the show today. And so if you're listening, we'll love you to pay attention and then share your thoughts with us. So the story says, I'm 32 years old. By God's grace, I've built a successful career, bought my own house, bought my parents a car, and I pay my siblings' school fees. I don't say these things to boast, but to show that I've worked hard and I'm doing my best. Yet every single family gathering feels like an interrogation. The first question is never, how are you? Or are you happy? It's always, so when are you getting married? To be honest, I'm exhausted. I understand where my parents are coming from. I know they want to see me settled. And I know they believe marriage will make me happy. I don't... Oh, hey, Eyram, I've not gotten anywhere. Says, I don't doubt that their concern comes from love. But I'm tired of every conversation ending with marriage. I'm tired of being compared to my friends, my cousins, and every woman my age who is already married. I'm tired of being made to feel like everything I've achieved means nothing because I don't have a husband. The truth is, right now, marriage isn't something I'm rushing into. Maybe it's because of the marriages I've seen around me. Maybe it's because of the stories I hear, or maybe I'm simply enjoying the season of my life. I love my work, I love the life I'm building, and I'm genuinely happy. That doesn't mean I'll never get married. It just means I'm not ready to do it because of pressure. What hurts the most is when the conversations turn into insults or guilt trips, as though I'm deliberately disappointing my family. Sometimes I leave family gatherings feeling like I've failed, even though I've spent years trying to make them proud. Can parents please understand that marriage is a personal decision? It is not a competition or a deadline. A woman is not incomplete because she's unmarried. Please celebrate us for who we are today, not only for the wives or mothers you hope will become. And that is our listener story for today. Ladies, what do you make of this story to begin with? Let's start from there.
I'll say congratulations to her on all the successes she has clapped. Clack it, girl.
Clack it, clack it.
Clack it from us. And I would say that, I mean, we are probably older than you, so you're in good company.
You
Yeah,
get it.
you're older than her.
I'm 32. I'm 27. I'm 27.
Well, I mean, I saw a calendar post where the people were putting, I am definitely 28
Yeah,
this year.
you're just stuck at, that age that you feel
Yeah.
like, you know what, I think this is the age
Choose
for
your
me. So
age,
choose
man.
your age.
COVID
Yeah.
happened.
It happened.
Yeah, so we got stuck and then we took like 6
Yeah.
years back.
I
So
get
back
that.
to you. I mean, congratulations on everything that you have. But for me, when I read the story and then before, all I see is such a huge lack of boundary. And so we would go into the conversation deeply, but like boundaries, and for me, I've had this situation, and for me, it's setting the boundary with the family members. I have left gatherings. My uncle called me one early morning. I was like, are you seriously talking to me about this? I checked the time, like, at this early morning, not how are you? How have you been? Really? Is that how you want to go with this conversation? It could turn bloody quickly, right? But boundaries is key. And I think that that's one of the things that is gravely missing in our household. And it's not even our fault because it's been how we've been raised, right? Where everybody's in your business. But one of the things that I've started course correcting, especially when I entered in my 30s, is putting it to people and correcting them. We don't do that here. You're going to mind your business and I'm going to mind my business. And if I'm single, like, I don't stay with you and go to school. I don't understand why, like, do you get my point? So
Yeah.
boundaries, and then we'll go into, and I think that one of the things we'll also share is like practical ways of putting that. And you see, you've built a life for yourself. Nobody was there when you were doing all of these things. And then you sit there and let these people tell you how to live your life. And misery loves company,
Yes,
and
true.
we've even experienced, I've had people get married and all of a sudden the conversation is different because they feel like you can't relate. But I can see that you are suffering. And me, I'm living my best life because I'm going to go home. Like, we've had long days. Nobody will say, what would you eat? If you like me, I've eaten. I'm going to bed. I'm going to wake up tomorrow.
Really?
There's not going to be, mommy. I will sit on the floor and start crying. And I'll call my mommy.
So I'm going to my mommy, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, and one of the things that we speak about in our circles, like when you look at the kind of life that we're creating for ourselves now, when a partner comes into your life, it's an addition. And so for me, I was speaking with one of my colleagues, she's like 25, and she was telling me that her mom, and I was like, she's like, I don't feel like it. I feel like there's more to life. And I'm like, yes, because you need to, and the fortunately or unfortunately, the times have changed, right? Back in the day, they'll find a husband for you. Now we are saying we will do this when it makes sense to us. So we'll delve into it. I think that what we will also share is just the practical ways of how to set some boundaries and how to course correct some of these things.
Right. Ama, what do you think?
aKorfa, well, like she said, I'm so proud of her. 32, you have your own house, you bought some for your parents, your parents were like, hey, please show us the way.
Show us the way.
Show us the
Show
way.
us the way, girl.
Because see, a lot of people in Ghana, I don't have statistics to back it, but I can bet that to find the majority of people who probably have 5,000 cities lying in
It's
their
very-
account.
it's very small,
it's
please.
very
Too
small.
big,
oh.
big.
So for her to do all that at 32,
Yeah.
wow, you've done so well. You should be proud. Unfortunately, you have family that still thinks that you're not successful until you have your own humans. you know, it's not bad. You know, they are. I'm sure they are thinking that it's in good faith that they are giving you this reminder. So sometimes they think whilst you are chasing your goals, you probably forget that this exists. They don't think maybe you can multitask enough to know that, oh, while I'm pursuing this is also one of the things I want and I'll go after it. So they think they have to remind you. I do think there are instances where we need to remind people on some of these things.
Okay.
Because there are days that some things seem very obvious. Even you know about it, but there's a level of other awareness that hasn't dawned on you yet. Something has to happen. Then you realize, oh, yeah. Like,
Are you going to suddenly realize that you need a husband?
No, not necessarily husband. You know that, oh, yeah, I would like to get married, or at this age, it's okay if I get married, if I want to. You know, but the need for it, the fact that you even want it, the desire for it, might be so dormant somewhere, lying somewhere.
And is that a bad thing?
It's not.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you see, it becomes a bad thing when you wake up at a time where you're like, oh, I didn't know I wanted this much. I promise you that it's real because
Really?
I've experienced such feeling.
Okay.
Mine was not with a husband, the fact that, oh, I'm not married, but it was for other things where some friends would tell me the challenges they are having, and I will feel so much empathy for them, and I'll make it a prayer point. I spend time praying for them. Then one time I woke up and I realized, wait, I actually also have this as a prayer point. But I didn't think it was a thing yet that I should be concerned about, because I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's like, let me give an analogy without sharing the exact thing. Like, let's say you want a fully furnished house, and you're like, I don't even have a house yet, so why should I think about the furnishing? But they have a house, so it's okay when they are thinking about the furnishing and you're helping them pray for it. You know, so I didn't think that, but then I realized, yeah, until I get the house, it's okay when I start thinking about the kind of furnishing I want in there.
That makes sense.
I don't need to wait till I have the house. But the realization that I want the furnishing makes me more certain that I want the house too, and this is how I want my house.
Yeah.
And I start making practical plans on how to achieve the house and the furnishing. So sometimes you need somebody to gently nudge you, but not put pressure on you. I'm fortunate that my family, I would say they don't do it in my face. I cannot say they don't do it behind me. I think they do. But I mean, years ago was that when my eldest sister and my second elder, I've got 3 sisters and 4 brothers, and then my sister was like, oh, anyway, our big sister says she just saw this style online and she would like to sew this to your wedding.
Wow. It's
And I'm like,
once. It really is.
Nah, this one too. Where is it from? You know, I'm like, really? Wow. Then next time, my sister was like, oh, I went to grandmother's and her neighbor that we all call. I went to grandma's granddaughter's wedding. Oh, it was so nice. The way they did the
That sounds
traditional
like my mom.
dances and everything. She was like, you know, when I saw, I was like, that's what we are going to do. And I was like,
That's why I stopped telling my mom that, like, maybe a friend of mine or someone we know is getting married. It's like, oh, very soon it will be your turn.
Yeah.
you know, that's how they started dropping. But then those are the only instances I can then, okay, maybe I went to visit my sister, her friends are like, hey, I'm a dead dad, but what really want home. And I'm like, and they accept, okay, but they don't. I never find it pressure. I just laugh about it because, again, it's not like they're not reminding me constantly. Then my sister, the one after, who I thought has always been quiet about it, probably doesn't care. And my friend, a friend of mine, goes to where she's working and she calls me. She's like, oh, your friend is here. We're talking. And I'm like, oh, is she there to do something for her kid? And she was like, oh, no. But then my son was like, oh, but I've been thinking, then have a baby. And I'm like, how long have you been planning to say this to me? For how long have you been thinking like this?
I mean, if you're not going to marry, might as well just have a baby.
And I was shocked this was coming from my sister because I was like, wow, I didn't know I could be a teenage mom. Because I'm still thinking if I get pregnant and I teenage pregnancy. That's how I feel.
No, the one about the baby thing.
I will born.
If you get Belen now, you
I
will
will
born.
born.
No, but the thing
Which is
about the
why I have to
baby,
be very
the baby
careful.
part, it's something that recently my best friend's mom, she reached out to, like, after church, she was like, oh, Me ban person me no kasa after church. I was like, okay. So I thought it was something big.
Yeah.
I went to find her after church. She's like, let me just say in English. I've spoken to your sister as well. I think you guys are growing. You know, if you won't even get a partner, have your own child. There's
With
nothing-
who?
With who?
With who? There with who? Like, so I can find somebody to have a child with, but I can't marry him, or he can't marry me.
People.
You know, it's not like the opportunity for that has not come, but we don't want that because I'm like, if you're okay having a child with you, then marry me, because. What is more binding than a child?
And
See,
she says
if
there's
we get
nothing
married and
more
we get
than having your
divorced,
own.
and we get divorced with no child between us, we're as good as ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, we're not even counting.
We don't have to, even though we're married, we really don't have to
know
be in
you.
each other's business ever again. But once there's a child between us,
Yeah,
even
it's a
without us
binding
getting
thing
married,
forever,
we are
yeah.
binded forever. See, till we leave this earth.
And you living in a jurisdiction where people already chastise born ones.
Yeah.
Right? So if I have a child with you outside of work, I'm slashed. Like my possibility of actually finding someone to marry has slashed by
Exactly.
further half.
Yeah.
But you see, again, let me play the devil's advocate. I understand why they would also give that concern, especially to us women, because there's something known as
The
the
biological clock. Oh gosh.
There are times that you want to ignore. You want to say, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Then there's you realize, I do want to have a child. Time is ticking. Is this going to happen for me or not? For me, I keep telling myself, well, I'm a born-again Christian. I've told God to give me what I want. If it is part of his plans for me, I'm going to get it. I don't want to rush myself into it when I'm not even ready to carry it alone. Seriously, because already into my budget. My budget,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
my money. When I'm having some hard times, I keep saying, like, hey, can you imagine if there's a
If I
child
have
part of this?
Listen,
I always
What
say
am I
that-
going to do?
Like you can sow Gary and drink back.
On your
you can't
own.
give that to a
give
child.
that to your
yeah.
child.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
You know, so that makes me realize I would love to do this now, but if I have to do it now, under this current circumstances I'm in, I need somebody to do it with. I can't do this on my own.
Mm.
You know, I would need somebody. So now back to this lady. I'm glad she's been able to achieve all these successes.
Yeah.
She needs to learn how to just shut her mind to it, not buy into that pressure. Because the thing is, the decision she makes, she would live with it. She will bear the primary consequences or rewards. It's all on her. Whether she ends up in a good marriage or a bad marriage, it's going to be hers. And guess what? When she sits with her family, when there's trouble, they're going to most likely tell her, let's pray about it. Or it rains everywhere. See, that's how marriage is. Suddenly they'll remember that this is how marriage is. So, but you didn't add this to it when you're asking me to marry. You didn't tell me that this is how marriage. They didn't add that part. You know, that's when they will remind you. They would never outrightly tell you this is not safe, get out, unless it threatens what they get from you. That's when they are most likely to try and get you out. Otherwise, they'll keep telling you if there's a benefit coming from you being with your partner, it's very likely even your family will encourage you to stay in an unsafe situation just so it keeps benefiting them. Because and also because they don't want to be the one you get to blame when the hard times come. Like, you know, if you tell a friend or your sister, get out of the marriage, and they get out, and the hard times come, because they will come. You know, when the hard times come, they're going to be, yes, Kojo was doing this to me, but at least at Kojo's place, I was getting this. Then you told me to leave. And then, so they don't want you to blame them when that time comes. So they will never give you the right answer. They won't tell you exactly what they wish to tell you because they don't want you to. At the end of the day, you have to make that decision. You have to make that call yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to marry now, if you want to drag any man, again,
It is you dragging the man.
To find husband.
No, me, I
How-
always say that
It's
getting
the
married is
quality
easy.
that you want. No,
Getting married is
It's the
easy.
quality,
Staying
though.
married that's where the
and also it's
Well-
the type of man you want to marry. That's why you are still hanging around right there. You know, you are looking for your type.
Yeah, looking. No, but I think everybody is because the men are also looking for their type,
Yeah,
right? So
because
yeah.
you're the man's type, but he's not your type.
He's
That's
not-
why you're not marrying him. That's why
Types
you're
are not
going to
typing.
marry.
So no, but like there's no talk about settling them, because then, parents feel like when you get to a certain age, I don't know why there's an age, target to this though, because you are alive and you're well and like you're not dead yet, but there's this whole age thing that makes you feel that.
Age.
Why?
It's because when when you grow older, you become more self-aware. Self-awareness comes with a lot of pickiness. You start seeing
That's
BS
where
a mile ahead.
I am right
you know?
now.
So you become less tolerant of things that a 23-year version of you would have tolerated. Now you are like, no, I'm not putting myself through that, So you become very picky, which closes in the selection pool for you more and more. And unfortunately, we have a lot of men too who think that the younger the better because it's easier to manipulate
them,
and
yeah.
all that. So they will rather go there because you are too much work.
That's
You
when the
keep them
grooming
on their
process is
toes.
begin. Yay!
You are going to demand
But that's
things
my
of
favorite
them.
thing to be, though. Too much.
Yeah, I mean, so and which is shocking to me that an adult man doesn't want to deal, especially strong head of the home, masculine alpha male. Why don't you want
I told
the
you,
task
it is for me.
of delivering?
Yeah.
Like, you meet the KPIs, check, like that. You don't want that.
No.
You want the easy.
You want the easy way around. What's 29 past 7 is Strong and Sassy here on Joy 99.7 FM. And the ladies were talking about when success isn't enough, why are we still judged by our marital status? A story came in. We've shared the story. A few messages also coming in, though. But you can also share your thoughts with us. We would like to understand where our parents are coming from, where the concern is. Is it because they feel pressure in the circles that they roll with, or there's a genuine concern there? Would love for you to share your thoughts with us via WhatsApp. It's 055 1111 997, or you can also send it via our Facebook. That's Joy 99.7 FM. Also on our X and on our YouTube as well. Now, ladies, we want to get into this. So we're talking about boundaries, as you mentioned, Eyram. You mentioned boundaries. How are you beginning this conversation with, let's use our moms, because our moms are usually the ones who have this conversation. Sometimes our dads do, but not all the time, but our moms, they usually do. She feels that whether you like it or not, you are my baby. I gave birth to you. So you are not grown, you are my baby. So how are you setting this boundary with your mom when you feel she's asking for, I don't want to say the impossible, but the demands are not something you're willing to meet in the moment?
I think, shout outs to moms every day, right? And even I'll start with like my mom. I remember when I turned 21, never forget, stuck with me till now. And she was, that's, I think that when it comes to you growing up, there are some milestones, right? So for me, 21 was one of those milestones. She's like, it was on my birthday. You know that thing where they wake you up and I know. What's going on? And she's like, you are growing. And she told me that, as you can see, I am in my marriage. When you decide to get married, you will be in your own marriage. You will be there. I'll be here. So if you're ever going to make a decision on who you should marry, always keep that in mind, that it is you who will be with the man.
Mm-hmm.
And that has always stuck with me. And I'm sure maybe sometimes she regrets telling me that. Because now when somebody asks me, I'm like, I always ask myself one question. If this person never changes who they are now, would I, knowing who I am now, the self-awareness level that I'm on is would this work? If the answer is no, I'm not doing it. Because, so when it comes to that, and then I think another time, this year she called me, the same thing, like, though she wanted to have a serious conversation. Then she said, so the wedding, when? I said, what do you mean when? I'm like, you know what, you give me till June. We are in July. Not still shishi. So for me, one of the boundaries for us is one, conversations, and where we limit the conversations. Our moms are our moms. They love us, right? But sometimes the struggle is getting them to understand the times and the seasons in which we are. In the past is you go to school, after school you get married, you have one child is not enough, have 2 children, have 3 children, right? But now we are wanting more out of life. And that is not a bad thing. So one, for me, it's conversations.
Okay.
Two, it's also you setting boundaries with mom. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to do this. There's a way to say it respectfully. If it means why, more. And three, this is your life. Do you get my point? Like, this is your life, not your mother's life. Your mom is in her marriage with your father, or probably divorced. And sometimes what people don't understand is what we daughters see. I know
That's
a friend
why we
of mine is
pick
like,
up on.
I don't want the kind of marriage that my parents
Exactly.
had.
The parents forget that sometimes your marriage has
They're
scarred
not the
your
best
children.
And so
examples.
the daughters have seen how much their mothers
Have
have
to
suffered.
give her.
My friend told me, she said, I don't want to be my mom.
Mm.
I love her,
Yeah.
But I
but the
don't
kind
wanna
of
be.
wife she is, I don't. And I've even heard guys say, my dad was he was a terrible husband.
Yeah.
I don't want to be my father. And so if your mom sets the boundary because it's your life, your mom is already in her marriage. You will be in that marriage. And so if it is them trying to force someone, and the worst thing you can do is marry under pressure. Like, people that have even married for love, they are not seeing top.
How much more you are doing
And
under
you-
pressure?
Going to marry someone you don't like, someone you can't have a conversation with, and be miserable just because of why. So have a conversation. Two, tell them where to stop. Aside from mothers, is the extra family members. I'm not
Eesh.
your child. Like, auntie at church, leave me alone. Heard you, people have tried, pastor have tried, oh, that's nice. So now they know that I'm not the one. And you see, boundaries start bit by bit.
Yeah.
The time I've walked out of family functions, by the time I enter the car, I'm gone. Where are you? Oh, I've left. But we're talking, no, not about my marriage. You will get the invitation when I find the man. Until then, you will see me on the ground doing the most. Set the boundary. Communicate it. Let it be clear with family, with friends. And for me, I think in her situation, because they are so tightly knit, and sometimes that's the problem, right? Everybody's in your business. Sometimes distance. If they see you every 1 week, make it every 3 months.
Yeah.
Everything.
If it's money, send it. Momo, send the money. You don't have to be there, and limit the engagement, so that the more if somebody is calling you and you know what the person is talking about, D&D, set the boundary in all the ways you can, and then live your life. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. If you stop being useful to those people today, they'll find somebody else to leech off of. So set the boundary.
You know, and for a woman in her position, she needs to be very careful, because there are leeches out there in the form of men who look for women of her caliber. They will come, some will pretend to be what they are not, in terms of to match up and, be everything, love bomb you, and before you know it, you found yourself in big trouble. So do not buy into this pressure. Like she said, set boundaries. And the boundaries could be as easy as your mom calls and you're talking fine. The moment she starts that, okay, I'm busy, bye, and cut the call. You need to set firm boundaries. As somebody who just learned to set boundaries
Somewhere this
after
year.
this year, no, I'm telling you, it works like magic. In the beginning, after you set the boundary, you're going to feel like, oh my God, I've done something bad, and shake it off. It's just, you will be fine. I'm telling you. You realize the kind of peace you have. There's no pressure around you and all. And also for anybody who gives people pressure, like I said earlier, it's okay sometimes to give people some reminder, but that's a gentle nudge, okay? And you do that, when you do that once, it's fine. One is okay. The person would come there when the time is ripe. The person will wake up one day with a realization, just like I did. At the time came to the realization, nobody was sitting next to me. It happened. It was because of, and then I had to get a reflection of conversation I'd had with people in the past. So just nudge the person and let it be. Because see, the life the person would live is not yours. You don't want it more than the person, even if it's your child. Mom, you want to be mother of the bride so badly. I tend to think that some of the mothers, just like how as girls, some girls will dream about their wedding day and all. When they have a kid, now the next one is dreaming of the day you become mother of the bride. So
and the outfit she's
so
going to
that's
put
what
on
it's
that day.
another level, next level fairy tale dream they want to realize. But think about that baby girl you had and realize, I know you want all the best things for her, but none of them should come under pressure, because pressure could make her make a mistake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you don't want this intelligent lady to find herself there. A classical example is this a successful Nigerian blogger, Linda Ikeji.
Mm-hmm.
So Linda, I used to follow her blog many years ago. I mean, as 2010. That was when I first got introduced to her blog, and I read it religiously every day.
Okay.
And now I look back and I'm like, if only I attended that consistency to other things in my life. Ah, God. But anyway, so I know her story in many stages. You know, when she first bought her first house in Surulere, was a 5-bedroom. She moved with her family there. She bought her first Murano, was a big deal. No, Toyota Camry. Then she bought.
Hey, Ama, you
I
really
know the
followed
whole story.
religiously.
Yeah. Then she bought a Murano, and all that while her father's like, do and get married. Her friend's like, do and get married. And then when she finally bought the big one, the Banana Island home, which was about $3 million at the time,
see.
and it was news, and she was like, oh, she was going to buy a Bentley next, and her dad says no. She has to marry first.
Before she buys the Bentley.
Yes.
Interesting.
Even the house, it was an issue. And then she still went ahead. And she lives in the house with her parents and her other siblings, who some later got married. But she was living with her whole family in that house. People's question was, so when Linda gets married, is she going to leave her Banana Island mansion and move into, that's what people were concerned about. Then eventually when she had a baby and she came out to tell us how she had the baby and how the guy walked out on her and the pregnancy. This was Linda. She's always said she wants to get married. She's built a successful blog. She's a multi-millionaire in dollars. She's made so much. She's changed her family's fortune. They grew up in, Ajegule or whatever. One of like really bad things. She's changed her family's trajectory for life. Yet her father restricted her from getting some things for herself because you're not married. After she had her son, she went to buy the Bentley anyway. And now she's driving the latest Bentley. She's changed it again, upgraded it again. Because I'm sure now at like 45, she's telling herself, going to 46, she's telling herself, see, I'm not going to tone down anymore. I have to enjoy this money I have made.
I sometimes I honestly, for the life of me, and I love one of the things that Ama was saying, because even me, I remember the time I surprised my mom and had a marriage conversation when she was pleasantly surprised. She was like, really? I'm like, what, do you think I'm broken or something? I mean, yes, I can be on some level sometimes, but it's not that I'm not interested in some of this stuff. I mean, when I want to wear my dress, I have no one to zip me. Then he's like, yeah, I have
True. True sometimes.
And I find that there's lots of ladies that usually they use this zip analogy so often. I'm like, oh, you guys, are you really just narrowing down to it's when you're zip that you're like, oh, I wish I was married?
No.
But it's such a common example.
There's some things I want to wear. Like I have
never thought of zip and thought
I
of a
don't think of a
husband.
husband. I think of, if I had someone else here, because sometimes when you are zipping, it's a lot of
for
work.
11 years, and I've never thought
if I
of that.
don't have someone in my house, I can't wear.
Today I put down because I have to wear to my friend's
You
wedding
see?
tomorrow, and I was like,
Exactly.
hey,
Who's
how am I
going to help me?
Yeah, but it didn't make me think of husband, because when I think of the need for a
It's not
husband, actually,
necessarily-
I think that more serious things is what makes me think of husband.
Oh my
Like when I'm broke, I'm like, hey, if I had a husband now, like I'll be in Wahala.
who have husbands and I even broke her. Sister, forget.
Well,
But
but
that's not my portion.
Amen.
No, I'm serious.
That's true.
Because I've had to go and knock on neighbor. Oh, my former neighbor. He's always zipping me. I'm telling you.
And there are days that, I actually crave some physical touch. And I'm like,
I don't need a husband for that.
No.
She needs.
That's what blankets and big teddy bears are for.
Yeah, so my pillow is what I use.
Yeah.
But there are times that the warmth, I need human
This rainy
companionship.
season is not passing. We survive. We'll be fine.
I've got a thick duvet too, but I'm like, no, but that's when I'm like, I want a human to talk to,
But then,
The
ladies,
last
do you
few
think?
days, though, you know what I've been doing? I'm like, good night, Siri. And I say good night. Then when he texts, I'm like, hey, don't text. Say it. Don't text good night. Don't send me the text. I said good night. Say it. Siri,
Say good night.
Hey Siri, good night.
No, but guys,
We need to help Ama.
human
We need to help
no, but
Ama.
guys, do you think that part of the reasons our parents are usually on about, you know, get married, get partnered up is there's this concept or there's this idea that people feel when the more you grow and you're by yourself, you might be lonely and alone.
Oh, no,
I know those two things are different.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes they're concerned that what if, just as you're saying, you mentioned that sometimes you just want to speak to someone who is, quote unquote, your person, right? And what if they're giving us that nudge or that push because they feel like, what if we don't push you to get this person, you will be by yourself and you might not have your person.
But the funny thing is that there are people who are in relationships and are also lonely.
They're lonely.
Well,
And that's why cheating is rampant.
Tell it,
For
moms.
me, one of my favorite things about being in a relationship is the companionship, like just the entirety of it, having that person. But these days, people are finding they are partnered up and they
They're
are
so lonely.
the companionship is not
It's
in
not
the
companion.
person they live at home with, which is why we have traffic, because then they be outside and then they start going home late. By the time you go home, your partner is asleep. So somebody said,
and that's something we're actually counting on. That by the time they get
go
home,
home, they are
sleeping.
worn out. The kids have worn them out and they are asleep. And then you just wake up. Somebody said their house is a dormitory, but that's beside the point. They just sleep there. They just live there, right?
That's
So those
wild.
are the partnered up stories. Do you understand? But I think what is also different these days, I'll speak for me, it's also cultivating that sense of community. What people don't understand is there are people out there. So yes, there are times where I just lay on my sofa and just chill, and you wish, but when I also look at some of the situations I've found myself in the name of being in a relationship, I would rather be sipping on a glass of wine in my
Yeah.
couch by myself
Yeah.
than to deal with this level of nonsense in the name of being in a relationship. So in as much as you want to be single and independent, create experiences for yourself.
for yourself, yeah.
Me, I've traveled by myself. I loved it. I've traveled in a
I
group.
love
I
solo
like
trips.
it. Do
I can't
so.
survive alone.
Build, exactly, like build. As you're building life, create experiences. One thing that saddens me is people that can't be alone. So there are people who are in terrible relationship just because they want. And the worst one is someone saying ask you out, right? And you say no, but they say but you are single. And so what? Like the fact that
comes.
I am single doesn't mean I should just be in a relationship with anybody that asks
Eyram,
me.
let us love you.
I'm all down for the loving, but do it right. We are in a country where people don't even want to buy you flowers. They rather buy you kinky.
No, I'm like, send me the money, send me the money.
Did you get my point?
Send me the money,
So
please.
being
I like
single
flowers.
doesn't mean being lonely. So if you feel like you are on the, and this applies to both men and women, create your own community. Find things that make you happy. Read a book. Go out on your own. If you go to a movie on your own, you will not die. If you go to dinner on your own, you will not die. Why are you waiting for someone to invite you out? You are working. You have your own money. You can be working in your area and going and buy one malt with pie and sit there by yourself. Create your own experiences and stop waiting for people to come and save you.
You know
Yeah,
the thing about go ahead.
You see, sometimes to the concern our parents have about loneliness and all that, it's based on their experience of their time. You see, we live in a time where we now have internet. Sometimes, I remember there were days that I would be indoors for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
And I would suddenly remember I've not spoken to a human being face to face, but because of the internet, I've engaged with so
Netflix
many
and
people
chill.
that it didn't even connect. That I haven't actually had a direct physical human interaction. Like it takes that long. And even though I say like in the last few days I've been telling Siri this, I'm not lonely. Yes, sometimes you feel alone, but then I actually enjoy my own company, and sometimes that actually scares me. I'm like, am I sure I can share my
Your space with
physical
anybody,
space?
yeah.
You know, and it doesn't help that my last relationship was even long distance. So and I think that was one of the things that made me make excuses for the partner, even in terms where things were not supposed, I shouldn't have, because it was so comforting. Like, it was like, this is just great. Like,
I know.
Be
And it
over,
won't
be over there.
yeah, I
Let me
get
be
what,
here.
Like, I'm like, hey, are you sure? Like, so how are things going to when you guys are in the same
Space, yeah.
every day? Now you live in the same space. Like,
Yeah. And for me, one thing that scares me being single for, I'm like, so like now somebody's gonna come into my life, then I'm gonna lose all of this.
You
I
get
the
it,
thing that
and-
scares me about being single is like I'm getting too comfortable.
Comfortable.
Because then,
Yes.
but now when you start talking to someone, now you have to talk to them all the time, and then you're like, somebody's child or somebody's child.
I truly
Sometimes
don't
they
mind
ask-
talking to somebody all
Really?
the time.
Okay.
But it's just that I need to have my me time. You also have your me time.
The people
You
don't want it,
cannot
they just
come
want to be in
and
your
cling
armpits
and come
all
and
the
please
time.
Go and get a life. What is this? Like, we need to have a lot of time together. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I need some me
Time
time. I
out.
get overstimulated sometimes, and I just need me, only me. In my room. The other time I was thinking that, I really need to be rich with my husband and I, because we have to
Separate
have our own.
bedrooms, yeah.
No, I'm not looking at separate bedrooms, but we're going
Separate
to have our
halls.
own rooms, separate halls. Where I do my hall the way I want it, and you also do your own. So that's the place we go and do our me times.
And then we'll
Small,
come.
then we miss each other. Then we'll come back
Yeah.
together. Even with kids being involved.
That's the scary part for me. I'm like, I'm getting too comfortable.
Too
with this.
comfortable.
Afternoon, I got
Too
to know there was
comfortable.
something called LAT,
What
What?
does that mean?
living apart together.
Really?
Yes,
I love that
living
concept
apart
though.
together.
Hey, Eyram.
What?
You're married, but you are living in separate households. I've
A lot
actually
of
met a
people are
Ghanaian
suggesting
couple
that.
doing that. I met like about 4 years ago. Yeah, it was what I was so intrigued. I was like, what? Like you're doing this thing at the time it didn't make. I was like, what? What kind of? They live on the same street, but in separate houses.
Wow.
The husband is in one house. The wife and the kids are in one house. The husband can come there. The wife also go there. So
That's
the kids are
interesting.
with only daddy, and then they come, mommy. They'll be seeing each other the
I
whole day.
think
but
Cheryl
at the end of the day,
Lee
they have
Ralph,
separate
the
homes.
Abbott Elementary star, also says that she and the husband are in different cities or
Yeah,
something.
for
so
20 years. Now
yes, that's how.
they moved together. They've moved in together after 20 years.
Is
Life
that
is
something
what
that
you
people are
make it.
moving towards now? Though?
Yes, these days friends are having children together.
Yeah.
The life is changing. See, that's what people are struggling with. Because I'll give you a practical example. If you snore and I'm a light sleeper, why should I lack sleep because you snore? But if we have 2 bedrooms, you can sleep and snore as loud as you want, and I can have a peaceful sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why should I? You see, we live in a space.
I think
where
it's
people-
just the fear that over time you guys get so
Comfortable with
and
the
then
way
you might
it
be
is.
drifting apart.
No,
so
so
you won't catch it. Quickly.
that's what conversations come.
That's
And
the
sometimes
problem.
these things you can't just on and off do it.
Okay.
So there has to be conversations where we both agree. And as the Bible even says, can 2 work together unless
Unless they
so
agree.
these are not like, let's practice this. If there's a real reason why we can't be in the same bed together and we have to sleep in separate beds, why not? Because why should I suffer and you enjoy your sleep and vice versa? Do you get my point? So sometimes there are exceptions to the rules to some of these things. And for me, one thing that is important is when you are coming together with someone, you people have to define what you want your marriage to look like for you, because you are the one in the marriage. Not somebody else, someone says this. People say, and we don't go to bed angry, or if your wife is angry, why? So every time, that's what people sweep things under the rug, and then there's resentment. So there has to be you people have to set your own way of doing your marriage, of doing your relationship, of doing your partnership. Some people shower and then they leave stains on the wall, like, I should be in the nasty. So you have your own bathroom and I'll have my own bathroom. That doesn't mean I don't
Have
love you.
your own bathroom. Okay.
Yes.
For sometimes to
Because you're
people
messy.
like the lady in there. Sometimes our one thing that makes us not put the search for a husband or getting married as a priority when now young, from 20s all the way to our 30s, is that you think about what you have to give. The fact that marriage and kids are for a lifetime is for the rest of your life.
Especially when
So
the
you're
woman
like,
is the one who's
can I have
meant
some
to do
time
it.
to myself before
Yeah.
and now I'm like, okay, I think I've now, as I'm here, I'm currently broke, but I'm open to getting married. Um,
Just throwing that in.
I'll be fine.
You'll
I'll
be fine.
Don't worry, I'm working. But you know, like I'm ready to get married if the opportunity comes. But I'm like, I had days that I was like, no, like there are things that I'm enjoying right now. There are things
Yeah.
that I want to do now and all. Now, almost 7 years ago, when my dad died, that was when I became more certain that I wanted to get married. But there were parts before then that I was not sure I wanted it. Like I was not sure I wanted it. Then when my dad died, that was he was my last surviving parent. It came with some, at the time, I'd say some loneliness that I was like, and some vulnerability. I felt like, oh my God, I need my own people. Because I was like, oh, my siblings have their own people. I
Yeah.
need to get my own people because now I'm secondary and tertiary to them. So I need to have my own crew, my own people that I
Yeah.
can. So then I realized, I was like, oh, I do want this. And then when I got certain things off my list of things I wanted to achieve in life, I became more sure that I wanted,
wanted
this. But
it.
before then, I was not sure.
I'm gonna ask this, okay? But we'll get to some messages before we can. But the question I want to ask is, when people are having conversations about marriage and stuff, and then sometimes you will tell someone that, well, you don't think you want to get married, and you say to them, what if it's not part of God's plan for me? I should be okay with it if I'm not. Then people look at you strangely. That's why on God's green earth, do you think, do you think maybe you're not meant to get married? So you hold our thought. I'll be back. I want us to get into these messages. So this one here says, it's from Ethel or being on Facebook, says, I think it's the same for both genders, but it is very common among women because of the biological issues surrounding childbirth for women after a certain age. And what if that woman doesn't also want to have a baby? That's also a conversation for another day. Let's add that to the one I asked. Now, scientifically, the chances of a woman giving birth at an older age are very slim as compared to men. My comment is not seeking to promote unwanted pregnancy and teenage pregnancy. Having a family is a very great thing. It's a very great thing that you say. Okay. Good evening to you. This is an educative program. Congratulations to the lady. Great achievements. The following are my suggestions for her. She should have discussions with her family to address their concerns. One should be respectfully explain her decisions to the family. She should let them know that God's time is the best. She should pray to know God's plans for her, and she should continue to focus on her passion and commitment. That's coming from Edmund. We've got a few more minutes to check out, but you can also share your thoughts with us on 055 1111 997. Because I'm asking these questions because when you meet a woman and she says, I don't think marriage is for me, I don't think having kids is for me, and people treat everything else that you say, like if we're having a conversation and you want to share your thoughts, they think your thoughts are invalid because you don't have a child and you're not married. How can society start embracing people with such thoughts? Because I don't think marriage is for everybody in the long run, though.
I mean, for me, I just leave society to do whatever they're gonna do, because I always say that society has never come to ask me if I've eaten breakfast before, right? So yeah, I just leave society, and I think that just coming to that point, like I said earlier, this is your life. And so you get to do what you want, for lack of a better word, with your life. And I guess because we know God is amazing and he's a good father and all of the things that we know him to be, when you say to someone that, oh, I don't think this is in the plan for me, and then they get agitated. But then, like I always say, God's time is the best. And he makes all things beautiful. And when the time is right, he will make it happen. So me, that's where I've left those matters. If there's marriage in the works for me, it would happen at the right time. Because they see, as women, we're also disadvantaged. I can't marry myself. I could, though. And I, for one, like, you have to
Sologamy.
be
Apparently,
asked.
there's something known as sologamy now. You can marry. Yes,
Yeah, we're not
I
gonna do
found
that.
out,
No.
but let's
Yeah,
move
it's
on.
like I'm having your wedding. I'm married to myself. That's all. I
And
give
two,
this to myself. I tell myself.
Noelle Eyram Yehouessi, I'm not about to give money to a man to marry me either. I would rather be on a yacht,
That's
sipping
another
on a
thing
pina
that pressure
colada.
does.
So I can't marry myself. I am not paying for my marriage. So I'm just going to wait for God's time. Until then, I will be living my best life.
Yeah. You see, it's sad when you see women who've done so well for themselves and then they sort of adopt a husband and they start catering to him like everything.
Yeah.
Assess it's not, it wouldn't be a bad idea if this man was actually committed to her. But most times it never goes well. These men feel emasculated and so have to go and feel masculine somewhere. So they take your money and go and give to somebody else where they feel more masculine compared to you. So that's what ends up happening there. Now you really cannot want marriage and kids than the person you want it for. And if it was just easily accessible, then we would get it. Like we would just grab it like this, like this. I'll pick some fine 35B. Like, you
Marry
pick
all of them and just,
rotate.
But ladies, what are your final
Give
thoughts
them
on this
most
one?
Final thoughts to the ladies. I think boundaries is, for me, is key. Have those conversations with your parents. If you have to have it with your siblings, walk away from people that try to pressure you. This is your life. And create your own communities. Your family members are not the only people that you're supposed to deal with in this board. Like, all that money that you are giving them, maybe you're giving them too much money. Take some of that money and go on a vacation and have the time of your life. Shop. So that when people see you, maybe it will even make you more attractive to the men, even though most of them may not be able to afford you. But keep living your best life.
Okay.
Lady, you fix one of the biggest problem as a woman you can have, which is you need to have money. See, life is hard for an old, unmarried, never have had kids, poor woman. They'll call you a witch.
Yes.
How many wizards, old men are called wizards?
No.
But when you are a woman, even with kids and married, they'll call you a witch. Not to talk of you I didn't marry. You
don't
didn't
have
have
money.
kids. You don't have money to you were even when you end up with money and no kids and then your family members are poor, they'll say you use them
You
to go and
use
make
them
their
to
money.
make the money.
So, but money will protect you and shield you, whether you have husbands and whether you get married and you get kids or not. Your money can protect you. It might not do
at least
everything
you worked
for
for
you,
it,
but it will
yeah.
give you comfort even in your misery. You can travel the world, make new friends. Sometimes the friends we have today, they get married and we start losing them.
Yeah,
In the
make-
sense that
make
they're
new
no longer
friends.
as available.
Yes,
And as
yeah.
you get older, it can get harder to make friends. Maybe you make
That's true.
acquaintances. So get comfortable in your own skin. Get used to yourself. And if you're sure that you don't want to do this, that's
It's
fine.
okay.
When you are ready, take your time. Don't don't go and marry the man. Let him come and marry
Come and
you.
marry you.
And be certain of him. If you feel off about him, run. aKorfa, next time we'll talk about this. If your intuition, your gut, follow
You
it.
need to listen to it. Well,
Listen
thank
to
you
it.
so much, ladies, for coming through. Ama is creative director at Push Studios and Eyram, who's serial entrepreneur, for having this conversation with me. And to you who tuned in and shared your thoughts, we really appreciate it. We talked about when success isn't enough, why we're still judged by our marital status. And this has been Strong and Sassy on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is aKorfa. Show is produced by Marital Johnson. We made visible on social media by Oliver Fanyo. Now, we'll be crossing over pretty shortly to Joy News, where the Digital Economy Forum is happening in partnership with Haptel. We're talking about why fraud is holding back Ghana's digital economy. I beg your pardon. Now, that is happening after this one.